I've been thinking about doing some videos on different vehicles that I've owned, different vehicles that I really like for travel, for road tripping, for off-roading, for overlanding, and just talk about some of the pros and cons of some of these vehicles. And today I would like to talk about one of my favorite vehicles I've ever owned. It is my minivan. It's a 2017 Chrysler Pacifica, limited, so it is a very nicely optioned, very nicely equipped van. But I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why I love it so much. So here is my 2017 Chrysler Pacifica. As I said, it is a limited. It's very nicely optioned. And ultimately, it is one of my favorite vehicles I've ever owned. I've had a lot of very sporty vehicles, sports sedans and whatnot, vehicles that are very fun to drive. And this is not one of those, but for what it is actually quite a spirited driver. It's got decent acceleration. It actually handles quite well, especially I optioned to have the 20-inch higher performance wheel and tire package. And it actually handles quite comfortably for what it is. I've taken it down many mountain roads and things like that when we've been on road trips going through national parks and whatnot. And it actually handles quite confidently. And it is so comfortable and so roomy. It gets great gas mileage for what it is for such a big vehicle. You can see my Ram 1500 in the back there, and it is not quite as long, but it is very close to the same length. You can see that they're almost even with each other at the back. And my my Ram 1500 is only maybe 1.5 feet longer in the front. So this is not a small vehicle. They call it a minivan, but it is actually quite a large vehicle, and it has tons of space, tons of cargo capacity. It can very comfortably seat 6 people on a long road trip, even 7 if you want to squish a little bit more. But it's got some fantastic features. I'll just open up the trunk here. And this is true of most minivans. Oh, it looks like we've got some stuff in the back here already, but this lowered footwell here is just allows you to have tons of space in here. I can stack 4 vertical full-size suitcases in here. I have put up to 7 of the carry-on style suitcases in here. Tons of room. And one of the nice things is you can adjust these seat backs. So the rear passengers have buttons on the side here. And you can adjust these seat backs forward or back. So you can actually increase or decrease the amount of vertical capacity that you have in the back. So I've frequently done road trips with my family, which I have 3 daughters and my wife, and we have probably put, as a group of 5, about 25,000 kilometers or about 15,000 miles of road trips in this vehicle with the 5 of us in it. We've also done a few road trips where we've had a 6th person, an aunt or a friend or something like that come along with us. And it is just, we can get all of our suitcases in this back area and then leave the front part for people to be comfortable. So I'm 6'4" and I have very long legs, and yet I can sit fairly comfortably back here. Could there be a little bit more leg room for a guy like me? Yes, but you can see my knees have tons of room, and these seats are set at their normal position. I have tons of headroom as somebody, again, who's very tall. We have the optional tri-pane moonroof, so it actually has 3 panels. So this 3rd panel just allows a lot of light and comfort. We have the little comfort shades back here if you want to get some rest, or if you want to have some privacy. It actually makes this back area very bright and spacious. And we've often had people back here where we've driven 1,200 miles or 2,000 kilometers kind of in a day, where we just drive straight through for 20 hours. Oftentimes we've had people be very comfortable back here. And as you can see, like as I say, I'm a very tall guy, and I have room, and I can cross my legs. I can sit quite comfortably back here. And this is not where I typically sit, for my kids, or for some of my kids' friends, or even for my wife back here. So they've got lots of room. You can see here's the optional little vacuum that is super handy. I've used many times. And you can see here's those controls again. I can adjust my seat up and down. And on this side, you can see here's a USB port. So lots of space to plug in. if I climb into the second seat, my space is even more. Again, tons of space. Are these seats quite as plush and as big and as comfortable as some of the other minivans? No, but they do have that option of folding into the floor, which is a fantastic feature that I've used. And again, because this is limited, we have the 10-inch touch screens. We've got USB connections and HDMI connections and headphones. It comes with wireless headphones, our van, and it has these nice remotes that you can use to do all kinds of activities. So even in the back seat, you can control this Uconnect system. And you can see there's the dual pane roof over the middle and front rows. This has just been such a comfortable vehicle for so many different trips that we've done. You know, cup holders here. Again, we got the wind shades, or the window shades, and you know, all kinds of little details, thoughtful details, little reading lights here that my vehicle's not on right now, so they won't turn on. You can see up here there's your rear climate controls. So if somebody's back here and they want to have some you know, control over that, even got little bag hooks if you got groceries and stuff. When you're going shopping, you can just hook a couple of bags on these seats. There's cup holders in the front console, which is fantastic because you can pull this, and these can actually come way out so that you can get them closer to your rear passengers. So for 4 people, we've often put the back seats down, and 4 of us can sit very comfortably in these 2 seats and have tons of room. I also do appreciate how with ours, you can see this pass through here. Lots of room, and to get in and out of the back, if you don't want to go through that pass-through, you can just tip the seat forward, and you can see how easy it would be to crawl into the back. There's a ton of space here, very easy to get into the back seat. We go look at these front seats, and again, you can see I've got the protective floor mats. They're not clean right now, but they have been absolutely fantastic. You just take them out. These are the actual Chrysler brand ones. You can see the Chrysler logo there, and they've been fantastic. Again, lots of options up here for storage. You can see in the doors. You can see the big glove box here, lots of storage here. There's a cubby here. There's this little cubby there for all kinds of knickknacks. We've got the 8.4-inch touchscreen, which gives us navigation and Uconnect, and you can hook up your phones, all kinds of different features. It's been a fantastic system. Ours has the Blu-ray system in here, which I know a lot of people don't use that anymore. But we've used it quite often when we're on a road trip going somewhere, especially if you've got a huge drive. Sometimes we've been driving, like I say, for 20 hours straight through the night or something like that. To have a movie to put on, even for teenagers, it keeps them entertained. Here's your controls for the rear moonroof, and again, tons of space. I have got so much room. I can almost straighten my legs here. And again, like I say, I'm 6'4", and a very long-legged person, and this has been an extremely comfortable vehicle for me. I have no problem. Like I say, I've done it 5 times in this vehicle where I've driven more than 20 hours in a single day. I have never been uncomfortable. These seats, the front seats especially, are very comfortable. They're firm enough that you're supported, but they're soft enough that you feel really comfortable and let you sink into it a little bit. I really like the layout of this. I think this is probably the nicest looking van of all the minivans I've seen, and I really love the interior. Personally, I went for this lighter color because it just makes the interior seem brighter. But I've seen other ones that are dark inside, and they're very nice too. You know, I know somebody who has the dark gray with an S package, and it's all black. Everything's black. The wheels are black. Everything's black, and he loves it. And I know people who have had Odysseys or Siennas, and they love theirs too. For me personally, any minivan, but I chose this one in particular. They are absolutely the best vehicles I can think of for if you've got 4 or more people to travel with. These are just premium road trip vehicles. This one's got good acceleration. It's got the 3.6 Pentastar V6. I'm going to just set up the van here real quick, and I'll show you the configuration that we most commonly used. We put this middle seat down. There's 5 of us. 1 person can sit in the middle row, and they have tons of space. 2 people can sit in the back, and because this front seat is down, they have tons of space in the back. They can stretch right out. You can see here, I've got my feet straight out, and it makes it so easy to get in and out of because there's not a seat in here. And you don't have the squabbling as much because in the back row, you've got this nice wide seat And so they can be separated a little bit. And again, they have ability to adjust their own seats and set it up for comfort. You can see that seat moving forward and back there. And then what I also use this space for is I can put a cooler, I can put a bag with snacks in it, you know, beef jerky. I love beef jerky when I'm driving, but chips, fruit snacks, gummies, whatever you need, I can pack this stuff in there. And there is so much room to have stuff right at hand, stuff that you want to use while you're driving, stuff you want to get a hold of, blankets, pillows, towels, beach bags, all kinds of stuff. So for my family of 5, this has been the most common configuration that I do. And again, that's a really nice handy feature of the Chrysler, that seat can just fold into the ground. If for some reason I needed that seat, I can just pull it right back out and I've got it. And I've often, when we go camping and things like that, I'll put firewood in that footwell, and then that's a perfect place to just stick something that's kind of dirty and gross. I bought the accessory bins that go with the Pacifica that fit custom right into that footwell underneath the floor. And so I can just stick a bunch of firewood or have some emergency equipment in there, some Fix-A-Flat or some first aid kits or whatever. And then I don't have to worry about that stuff sliding around, moving all over the place. And it's out of the way. So I know people like to diss on minivans, but if you want to travel, if you like to take your family on long road trips or even on shorter road trips, and you want to be able to spread them out, I can't imagine a vehicle being better than something like this. Okay, so here I am in the driver's seat, and again, I've got lots of room, I'm very comfortable, tons of headroom, and again, I'm a very tall guy, 6'4". This particular van was optioned with a lot of the safety features. It's got the park sense, it's got the lane keep assist, it's got traction control, it's got the right here is your normal cruise control, but it's got the adaptive cruise control with full braking. It's got your voice recognition and your phone controls here, and you know, auto headlights, your auto preset buttons for your driver. And so my wife and I both, my wife drives this far more than I do. I typically drive it on road trips, but we can both program our own seating selection and be comfortable that way. All your window controls, and again, Blu-ray player, more storage here for whatever you need. There's another little cubby here. So USB ports, there's 1, 2, 3 down here, plus a little 12 volt cigarette lighter kind of adapter thing. It's got tons of great features. So, and some of those features have come in really handy. My daughter, when she was learning to drive, the automatic braking came on and stopped her. She didn't see a car that was running a red light as she was about to go through the intersection. She had the right of way, and it braked for her. But yeah, the automatic braking came on and prevented her from getting into a car accident. She could have very, very easily been hurt, or the car been totaled or whatever from that. Got a sunglasses container up here, all of your moonroof controls and rear power sliding door controls, light controls, moonroof up there. So, and here's your garage door buttons. A lot of these are pretty standard features for a vehicle. But again, they're just, the way this has been outfitted has been so handy, so easy to drive, so comfortable. It is one of the perfect road trip vehicles if you're not going off-road. Of course, if you're going off-road, you need something a little bit more capable. With the system here, it's just a great little system. As far as and it's a great looking. I mean, I love the dash. I love the gauges and everything. It's really is a nice looking system. You got your heated and cooled seat controls here. Very good system. We've got Sirius XM. Of course, you can hook up your different devices, USB and all that kind of stuff. Bluetooth. And there's your apps page, which has all kinds of different things you can do, settings you can have. You can turn your screen off if you want. Here's your surround camera, which is fantastic. Right now, the rear hatch is up, of course, but you can see here, you can see all the way around the vehicle other than this back area because the hatch is up. And I can actually close that real quick so that we can get a better view of that. And that is a real boon. I mean, I know a lot of vehicles are coming out with that and have that now, but what a great little option to have when you're pulling into a really tight space, a little campground, or you know, you're backing into a little tight space in a shopping mall or whatever. And you can see you can adjust the different viewpoints here. You can do a wide angle front, wide angle back, your narrow front. So, you know, you want to pull into a spot and you want to get as close as you can to whatever that is in front of you, a building, or you know, you're getting on a ferry. We just did a little road trip to Vancouver Island, and we were on a ferry, and you got to get within a certain distance to the car in front of you. Well, it's great to have this option. For what it is, it drives very nice. It actually handles quite well. It's quite quick. I've never had an issue accelerating to get onto the freeway. I've never had an issue not having enough power going up a long mountain stretch. I've driven this thing through desert areas. We went through Colorado and Utah and whatnot several years ago, and no problem. Going through windy roads in different national parks, same thing, no problems. It just, you know, for what it is, it's really great. And we looked at a lot of SUVs when we bought this thing. We looked at all the different SUVs that Honda, Chrysler, Toyota, Chevy, Ford all had to offer. And we went with this because this just had the most cargo room, was easily going to be the most comfortable vehicle for our family for these types of long drives. And having those sliding doors, I know people think of that as a minivan trait, and it kind of, you know, oh, I don't want a minivan. Minivans aren't cool. But when you don't have to worry about how close you are to the car next to you because they can't swing the doors out, I can't tell you how many times I've seen kids swing a door out on an SUV or whatever and bash the car next to them. You just don't have to worry about that. And look at how wide this entrance is getting in and out. There's no SUV that I've ever heard of that has a door that opens this wide that you can get in and out of as easily as this. My mom and my mother-in-law, who are both gone now, but were, you know, as they were getting older, they had trouble getting in and out of tall vehicles. No problem getting in and out of this. It was the perfect height. They could just sit right on the seat, slide themselves in, and off they went. So yeah, this is my little take on what one of my favorite vehicles has been. And this is part of my point, is that you know, I've got a 4x4 Ram truck over there. I've got my little Jeep, and sometime in the near future, I think we're probably going to be buying a Jeep Wrangler 4xe to give us some more overlanding options. But you don't need some fancy 4x4 to go overlanding, or, you know, obviously in certain trails or certain types of roads, you need something capable, but you can take what you have right now and go on a fantastic road trip, go see a bunch of state parks, national parks, provincial parks, go camping in quite remote areas. There's plenty of Forest Service roads all over this continent that you can access with something like this. Now make sure you have some recovery gear. You know, you want, as an example, I was in Crater Lake National Park just a few months ago, and I clipped the tire on a sharp rock and got a flat. And so I had some tire plugs and some compressor and some fix-a-flat and some other recovery gear like that, and was able to get myself to the nearest town, which was 140 kilometers away, about 90 miles away. And I was able to get it fixed and no problem. You know, it was just a little bit of an inconvenience for an hour or two. Whereas if I didn't have that gear with me, I might have been in big trouble. So, but you can travel for a regular road trip if you're just staying on the main roads or some light dirt roads. This might be the best vehicle you can buy for that type of travel. Yeah, there's my little scoop on one of my favorite vehicles. And again, why I love it so much is because it does what it does so well. And it just makes taking your family on a road trip so much easier.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in to my review of the Chrysler Pacifica minivan and my take on whether or not it is a great family road trip vehicle. If you haven't already done so, please like and subscribe and share this video if you enjoyed it. And just remember, adventure awaits, so go for it.